Hello, people of the internet. It is your boy Kishiwishi, and today we are going to continue this little trend that I'm hopping on. You know, this isn't even really a trend. This is stuff that YouTubers have been doing since dawn of time, pre 2018, maybe pre 2016, 2014. I don't even remember. I'm getting old. I'm getting up there in age. You know, your boy is 24. I mentioned that in the last video. But today I think we're going to get into some stories from my past. So if you guys don't know that much about me, hi, my name's Kashawn, and I went to university back in 2020. Yeah, I was in university from 2020 to 2024, and this story takes place right in the middle of my time in university, around the time when the pandemic was starting to lift up. You know, 2022 is like one of the first semesters where I actually went to a class in person in university, where I already have like a 45-minute long video explaining a situation that happened in this same exact year. Actually, no, the year prior, 2021, but that video will come out whenever it does eventually come out, and I edit it because I decided to ramble on for 45 minutes. But yeah, the tale for today is going to be a very unfortunate tale. Chances are the person in the story did not have really good luck. And by person, I mean dog. And I would like to put the disclaimer here, even though I've already been talking for like a minute and 30 seconds. But no animals were harmed in the creation of this specific video right now. I'm inside my room. It's April 10th, 2026. My cat is somewhere gallivanting around, probably by the window. However, the subject matter does involve an animal getting harmed, and for those of you who are very sensitive to that, I understand you don't want to hear the story. The people in the story did not want to even hear the story. So back in 2022, I'm not sure what the exact date was. The only memory that I have from this day was that literally the very next day the war in Ukraine started. That's the only like significant marker in my head. So this was like sometime in February, I think like February 8th or something, 2022. Just know the Ukraine war happened the very next day, which is going to make sense when I continue to tell this story. So on this day, it was around like midnight or so. Me and a couple friends, you know, we're in college and we're guys, so we're up to doing nefarious activities. And amongst those nefarious activities, we decided to go to our favorite pizza spot in Biscayne, which is known as Steve's Pizza. For any of you guys that live in the North Miami area, you know Steve's Pizza, and I'm talking about the one specifically on Biscayne. I understand there's other locations for Steve's Pizza, but never been to them, never seen them. Don't ask me about them. I only know about the one in Biscayne, which is goated. So yeah, as we're going on our way to the Steve's Pizza, right? I'm driving, mind you, to put into perspective, I'm not putting any pictures up because I'm lazy as fuck. This video is going to be just like the last one. At most, I will censor me saying any slurs. But I drive a big car, a big SUV. I won't disclose the brand because, you know, I don't want any of you motherfuckers just finding my shit and taking the rims off, even though the rims aren't worth shit. But I have a big SUV, a 3-row SUV, one of those SUVs that kind of look like a minivan. That's the only hint I'll give you. And I'm driving, and as I'm driving, you know, I had like 4 other people in the car. They're not really that relevant to the story, and I don't want to say their names, especially because one of them motherfuckers I just cut off completely. Not gonna get into why I cut him off in this video, but it'll make an appearance in another video. So we're driving, and the street that we're driving on, it's late at night. This was around like past midnight. So keep that in mind. This is past midnight. You look up to the sky. The only lights you see is from the light pollution of Miami itself, but it's pitch black otherwise. There's no street lights on this road. It's this weird stretch of road from the university that connects to the main road. So it's a winding road. You don't really see shit. Okay, now that you get that image in your mind. I'm driving, and to the right side of the street, we see a woman on her phone, walking, talking. Irrelevant. Yeah, it was pretty relevant for the story though. We're driving, you see her, we're looking over at her, and we're like, oh, why is she walking on this street late at night? Like it's midnight, and this street looks like the type of street where, Freddy versus fucking Jason could be taking place. Like this is damn near the wilderness. This is around like uh ecology of South Florida class is failing me right now, but this is like one of the areas that looks like the Pine Rocklands, but in Miami. So she's walking on the right side of the road. I'm driving, my friend in the passenger seat. We'll call him Trent. Trent is looking over to the left side of the road and he's like, Kashawn, I think there's a cat in the road. And I'm like, there's a cat in the road. That's weird. Okay. Whatever. It's a cat. And the reason why I said whatever, it's a cat, is because everybody knows how cats are. Cats are very finicky creatures. You sneeze and they jump 30 feet in the opposite direction. So him telling me that there's a cat in the road, I was just like, okay, there's a cat in the road, but it's gonna walk away. Mind you, when he was telling me that there's a cat in the road, it was literally within like 2 seconds of him seeing it, and 2 seconds of, or like 30, not even 30, like 2 more seconds after what happens unfolded. So we're driving, or I'm driving. It turns out it's not a cat, it's a little dog on the left side of the road, specifically in the median, in my blind spot. I had no time to see it. As we're driving, the car made one bounce and then a second bounce. And my friend Trent in the front seat was damn near freaking out. He's like, oh my God, Kashawn, I think you just hit her cat. And me being the autistic motherfucker I am, I'm just like, I hit her cat. It's a fucking cat. A cat is gonna not run under my car as I'm driving because it's a fast moving thing. It's not gonna run under my car. Why? I didn't hit a cat. And just as my memory is reforming, this same road had some traffic cones at this section as well. So in my head, I'm just thinking, maybe I ran over a traffic cone. He's like, Kashawn, I think you just hit this lady's cat. I'm like, okay. We stop and we open the door because we look behind and we see the lady approaching what we assume is a cat. And when we opened the door, we heard the most blood curdling scream known to man. You would have think that this was 12 years a slave and this woman was getting 13 lashings for speaking up when manager so much to see how much I like my job. When massa is upset that they spoke up about the living conditions, that's how this lady was screaming. And we're just like, oh shit, what the fuck do we do? I just ran over this lady's cat. As we approach closer, turns out it's not a cat, it's a dog, right? And I know. Sean, why are you laughing? You hit a dog like that. That's so insensitive. Listen here, motherfucker. This is a story that happened in my life, right? This was an experience I went through. Traumatic or not, it doesn't matter. I process my trauma by making light of it. So I'm going to continue telling the story, which is a thing that was a big debate at my university / dorm, because people are like, oh my God, they're so insensitive for telling the story. But at the same time, you motherfuckers weren't there. So we're talking to the lady and we're like, oh shit, what happened? And she was like, oh yeah, I don't know what happened. Mind you, this lady was Ukrainian, which is why I say it's relevant to the Ukraine war starting the very next day. Or okay, let me not even say Ukrainian, but she was speaking in the accent that is from that region. So she was Eastern European, I'll say that at least. But in my head canon, she was Russian, right? So we go over to console her. She was like, yeah, I was walking him. I usually walk him on the street and it's fine, but I saw you guys coming and I turned to the dog. I'm not saying the dog's name yet because that's the mic drop. But yeah, I turned over to him and I told him, no, stay, don't come. And like in the moment, I wasn't thinking about it, but in retrospect, ma'am, your dog doesn't understand English, Ruski, whatever the fuck them Ukrainian motherfuckers speak. They don't understand human language. So as an animal, if I'm doing anything and my owner makes noise in my direction and is looking at me, the first thing in my brain is, oh, I should go over to my owner. So that's just a little part of the story that I wanted to say. Like, this lady was kind of not thinking. Like, first of all, realistically, first of all, which is the thing to this day, is why this story is burned into my mind, because this is a situation that would have never happened if your dog was on a fucking leash. Like, come on, lady, why are you walking your dog at midnight? There are no street lights. It is damn near pitch black except for the light pollution from the Miami Hard Rock Stadium. Why are you walking your fucking dog without a damn leash? Like, that was the thing that, bro, that shit was pissing me off, because I love dogs, right? Like, arguably speaking, I like dogs a lot more than I like cats. The reason why I have a cat is because it's more convenient. But best believe, if I was in a living situation where I could comfortably own a dog, I'm getting a fucking dog. I'm getting a dog that is not a little shit breed, the little Shih Tzus. It's in the fucking name, shit. I don't like tiny dogs. I prefer dogs that are like at least medium to big dogs. So like anything from a beagle up to a Great Dane. That's the type of dog that I like. And this dog in question was a white little, I don't remember the breed, but it was like one of those white little fluffy dogs. But that's not where the story ends, right? So as we're consoling this lady, we're like, oh, do you live far from here? We can drop you home, this and that. We were about to drop her home, but part of the story that I forgot to mention, yeah, even though like 90% of the people in the car were black, except for one guy, the guy that I'd no longer fuck with, we're gonna call him Malcolm. We decided to call the police, specifically Campus PD, because we were right next to the campus. And Campus PD came, did the same thing. He was consoling her, talking to her about what happened. Meanwhile, this motherfucker Malcolm was, we can't take this nigga anywhere. So during, not after, not when we go back to the apartment, keying, talking about what we just witnessed, trying to process this or whatever. In the moment, this motherfucker is low-key chuckling, low-key that type of sound, because when the police officer came, the lady was retelling the story simultaneously while telling the story, trying to put us in the seat of blame, because accountability and women don't really mix. But yeah, she was telling the officer like, oh, these boys, they're like college students, they're driving, not really paying attention, and my dog was on the other side of the road, and this and that. And another reason for you guys to say ACAB, fuck the cops. Police officer, his first thought after her telling the story or whatever was, okay, well, they didn't do anything wrong, so there's no arrest happened. It's like, arrest? I wasn't even thinking about any arrest happening. If anything, the little white girl should be arrested for walking a dog without a leash. But that, I digress. But as he was telling the story, he asked her, just to make her feel better, what was the name of the dog in question, right? You try to help them process their trauma. This lady said Lucky. And literally the moment she said Lucky, I looked over at Malcolm. It's like one of those, the memes where it's like, oh yeah, your teacher said something and you look over at your homie, you start laughing. It was one of those situations, but I kept my cool, because I'm just like, I just ran over this lady's dog. I'm not gonna laugh in her fucking face on top of it. And after that, the police officer, he decided to drop her home, because thank God. Imagine her in the car with us, but this motherfucker's holding back laughter. Like, that would have been I think the situation would have gotten worse. But part of the story I didn't mention, I picked up the dog. Apparently her daughter went to the school nearby, and she was like, yeah, my daughter goes to school around here. I don't want her seeing Lucky when she's going on her way to school. So could you like pick him up and move him? Or at least I tend to think I am. So I conceded. I did that, picked up the dog, put it in the woods. This is part of the story where it's going to become a little bit insensitive. As I was picking up the dog, a little bit of its spinal fluid got on my hand, and I had to like get some hand sanitizer to wash it off. And around this time, there was this really cool anime that was finishing up its final season for like the second out of 5 parts. I don't even remember how long Attack on Titan decided to finish the, like, Jesus Christ, 4 seasons for 1 season is crazy. But yeah, after the situation, you know, we were just a bunch of dickhead college boys. We went to the place. This other guy who was in the car with us, Jonathan, we were all just like making a good laugh, trying to make light of the situation. You know, I was just like, oh guys, you know, I got a little bit of spinal fluid on my hands. I might turn to the dog titan. And other jokes amongst that was the name itself. The dog's name was Lucky. So for like damn near 3 to however long semesters last in college, and we were all friends, because realistically speaking, when you're in college, your friendships technically last for the semester or as long as you guys are in the same groups. But for the better half of that semester, if you mention anything to do with probability, you would get a laugh out of us. It's like, oh, how unfortunate. And one of the things that this lady brought up while she was talking to the police officer, I just remembered this. She said this is the 4th time. And when she said the 4th time, in my head, I'm just like, wait a minute. Is this the 4th time you had a dog get hit by a car without you having a leash? Or is this like the 4th time you've had to deal with a situation where a pet died? Because in my head, I was just thinking like, all right, this dog's name is Lucky, right? What are the what are the chances, or what's the probability of you having 3 other dogs before this one? And thinking about that, piggybacking off of the probability of her having multiple dogs, were the ones before Lucky, were their names Fortune and or like Chance, or like what's another word to do with probability? I don't know. Freaking 6. No, that's not even funny. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to share this, I guess, slightly traumatic story with you guys. I don't know if you guys are gonna find this funny. You guys are probably gonna listen to this or like watch this and be like, yo, what the fuck is this nigga even on? But PSA, if you're gonna walk your dog late at night, put a fucking leash on that motherfucker. If you take anything else away from this video, take care of your pets. Make sure that whenever you go outside, they're safe within reason, not only for themselves but for others. Because what if this was like a rabid little chihuahua and it bit my toes? You never know. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like the video, comment down below what your thoughts are. Like, have you ever had a have you ever had a pet that passed in a way that you didn't like? Or, well, I doubt there's a way that you'd like your pet to pass, which, oh, this just unlocked another memory. But that will be a story for another day. Or maybe I'll just record that instead and post that instead of this. But as for the time being, your boy's still retard maxing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Be good people. Bye-bye.